Please note that we will be using Google Chrome to complete this lab. Even if you are using a Macintosh or Apple device, you can actually load Google Chrome on that. You can also load it on Android devices, but again, we are using Google Chrome. If you attempt to use a different browser, it will not work the same. So you do need Google Chrome to proceed. Again, if you are having difficulties with this, please contact me. Also, we will be using an accessory in Windows called the Windows Snipping tool. That can be found under Windows Accessories, which is a folder, and you just run that, and it looks like the image on the screen here. There is an instructional video posted on Moodle for this. It's a YouTube video. It's not one that I created, but it's a pretty good video on the subject. It tells you a little more than you need for this lab, but you will know well enough how to use that utility then. You will be using this snipping tool in future labs as well, so be sure to watch that video unless you're already familiar with that. In part 1 of this lab, which is worth 15 points, we'll be logging into your Google email account for BUS219 and making some general setting changes. Maximum page size will be 100. Cancellation period 10 seconds. You will change the default text style to a different font and be getting a screen capture on that. Okay, for part 1 of this lab, go ahead and log on to your BUS219 Google email account. And if you look near the top right, you'll see a setup symbol. It looks like a gear. Click on that and go to settings. And the first thing you're going to change is the maximum page size. That's how many conversations show up per page. We're going to change that to 100. And right underneath that, there's an undo send option. We're going to change that to 10 seconds. So that's how long you have before you can stop an email from actually going out. And then lastly, under the default text style on the bottom, change that to a different font. I'm going to change it to sans serif, but you can change it to whatever font you want. Once you've done that, go ahead and open the snipping tool and click New, and just get a screenshot of those specific changes, and we're going to save that as setup 1. So go ahead and hit the save button, and that's going to be called setup 1. You don't have to type the extension, it'll put it in for you. Then close the snipping tool. In part 2, worth 20 points, we are going to be putting in a signature line and also setting up a vacation responder. The dates here are actually spring break for this year. And in the video, we'll be going through that. Make sure you turn the vacation responder back off before you save your changes, so that doesn't show up if I send you an email. Otherwise, the signature should stay in there, and that will show up the next time you send an email, so you do not need to get a screenshot of that, but you will be getting a screenshot of the vacation responder setup. Okay, next we're going to scroll down. You can use your mouse wheel or the bar to the right and scroll down near the bottom until you find the signature setup. Go ahead and click so you can add a signature, and you can go ahead and in the box make your signature whatever you want. I am going to use this Garamond. I'm going to make it a large italic script, and you can type however you want your signature line to look, and make sure that this is now saved. And now that should appear on any future responses that you make. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is go down a little bit to the vacations responder section here, and we're going to change the first day to March 2nd, which happens to be the first day of spring break, and the last day is going to be changed to March 8th. We're going to click last day and change that to March 8th. Notice how it defaulted to 1 week period of time automatically, but you have to check that last day box. On the subject, simply put spring break, and in the text box enter I will be on spring break from March 2nd through March 8th, and make sure that that vacations responder is clicked on, which it did go on automatically when I started to put the dates in. Go ahead and open your Windows snipping tool again and get just a screenshot of those changes you made, and save that this time as setup 2, and close the Windows snipping tool. Now, before you leave this screen, then a couple things to do. Turn the vacation responder back off, and also click Save Changes, because there are other changes that you made you need to save. In this last part, part 3, which is worth 15 points, we're going to just go ahead and change the theme to something different. So follow along the video. You're going to change it to a different image, and then get a screen capture of the entire screen with a new theme, and that's going to be put on setup 3 screen capture. And then make sure you email all screen captures, all 3 of them, to ProfessorDoonan@gmail.com, and make sure that your new signature line is appearing on your email. Once you've done that, your lab is complete. Okay, part 3 is very simple. Click back on the gear or the settings icon and go down to themes, and you'll notice that there's quite a few themes in here that you can select from. You can also pick from your photos if you wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and pick one of these themes and then hit save. Make sure you're in your inbox, and now we're just going to get a screenshot of that. So open the snipping tool again, create a new screenshot, and this time get the whole thing with the theme changes in it. And we're going to save that as setup 3. And once you've saved that, close the snipping tool. Now you're going to go ahead and send all of those, all 3 of those files to ProfessorDoonan@gmail.com, and when you send them, you should also be seeing your signature line appear in that email as well. Once you've sent those, your lab is complete.